What is going on? And welcome back to episode 18 of the Noble Steady Sort of Sports Talk. As you can see, it's your main man Tyler here with Joey, and then with a special guest, our good friend Shane. Shane, how's it going today, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Thank you for joining us. And Bros, if I didn't forget about you, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. Got a new setup, so I'm testing some stuff out. It's gonna look kind of awkward.
Well, hopefully you can bring the energy up a little bit. Like you got me and
Hey,
Shane
man.
over here. And he's
Hey
like,
man,
I'm good.
setting this thing up by myself, trying to get this thing to not fall on a laptop is very difficult in the tight space that I am in my closet,
That's
which
fair.
is my office. So
The
yeah.
cave.
Yes,
I've got mic envy right now. I don't have a mic. I just
Well, we'll get you.
put my phone up.
We'll get you set up with one, Shane. Very cheap, very easy. Look, Black Friday's right around the corner at the time of recording, so we can get you one easily for that one.
There
So,
we go.
gentlemen, let's just dive in. It's Riz time, baby. We know the Saints come out and actually pull off a victory. What do we think about that?
Shane, give me your opinion first. I've talked ad nauseum about how things need to happen, and I want to hear your opinion on it first.
Yeah, the guests go first. Let's see what you got, Shane.
I talked to Lindley this week, and he put it in perspective. While you want to lose to better your draft position, to get a better rebuild, you always want to beat the Falcons. So I feel that's fair. We beat the Falcons. I'll take it. I would have rather them lose.
I think
That's a
honestly,
long-term
like in your heart, you want to win all the time. Like you never want to truly lose. That number one pick in your head's like, yeah, we could do something with that. But yeah, like you said, if it's the Falcons, you have to win that.
Well, as a team in general, we can look long term. That's all going to sort itself out in the future, right? Like if it was week 18 and we had a shot at the number one pick, I'd be like, why are we trying? It's too far out to even try to start really tanking, especially with the roster we have. Just see, I want to take this more as an opportunity to see what Rizzy was going to do. I've been really impressed with what he's been saying. I mean, just the sheer fact that we're actually warming up now is fantastic. It's a step in the right direction. A step that's not going to tear your hammy.
How about the fact that he clogged the toilet in the coach's office before the game and told everybody about it?
I mean, it's pretty crappy of him, but what you going to do?
He even said like, man, today's going to be a crappy day.
Yeah,
Lord.
Before we jump into like the specifics of the game, at the end of the game, when he's going off the field, I didn't know if he got shot, tore his Achilles, or was having a heart attack on the field when he was going face to face with Peyton Turner. Did y'all see that?
I mean, that's the biggest sign that he's a better coach than anyone we've had the past couple of years, because Peyton Turner looked like trash until Sunday's game, and then he looked like a first-round all-elite defensive player just one game under this guy.
Just the defense in general, the pass rush, man. Like, where did that come from? We haven't had it all year.
I fully believe that most of that is because the team got to a point where they're just like, we have to do something to get this guy fired. We need that's all I could say. When I watched them play against Denver, that's the kind of team I saw. Like they were doing everything they could to get DA out. And whatever they did,
active, though?
it took them to lose to currently the 7th worst team in the NFL, according to the record, for it to happen.
I mean, they tried at the end of the season by just completely ignoring the coach's call and Jameis calling an audible, and they still didn't fire him. So, I mean, it had to be drastic.
Yeah, but Tyler's favorite bubblegum chewer decided, just he saw that as a isolated incident.
Yeah, and let's put it this way. With the way they played down the stretch last year, winning the games, now granted, it wasn't against good competition. He bought himself some time. Talk about Dennis Allen, but look, a lot of people saw it as mutiny, which it really was, and I agree with that. And Mickey Loomis didn't see it, but look, I think we can all agree that there's just a lot more energy in the players themselves in the game, right?
Yeah,
I could see it visibly. Like
it was like a different team. It was a
Yes,
completely different
100%.
team. And
So let's get
it goes back to, you see Dennis Allen every press conference he had, he's just kind of well, I mean, you just kind of it just works its way that it needs to go. And it's like, no, I want somebody who's gonna, like, to steal Dan Campbell's saying, bite a dude's kneecap off in the middle of a press conference because he
classic.
said something bad about his team or whatever. Like, you weren't going to get that with DA.
And
Rizzy seems like the kind of guy that if somebody sneezes wrong, he'll just, like, rip the dude's head off.
And that's the thing, right? I love Matt Moscona always, the way he always says it. Dennis Allen always felt like a substitute teacher. Like, right? Kind of felt like, look,
I've never heard it said that way before, but I like it.
Right? Like, and you know that if we think it's getting nauseating to hear it at every press conference for only 18 weeks a year, can you imagine what it's like technically working underneath him? It's got to be terrible.
I mean, the problem is, who's going to take that job? They've come out and said they're not going to rebuild full bore. They're $90 million at the cap, and the cap really doesn't reset until 2028. So if you're coming in, do you get a 5-year contract and try to grab someone like Ben Johnson and just commit to him? Yeah. So who's going to take the job? So they might as well give this guy the job for 2 or 3 years. I mean, Orgeron at LSU was supposed to be a stopgap, and he won a national championship. So, you know.
Let me put it to you this way, and I've talked to Joey about this before. I heard it from another podcast, and it's New Orleans Football. Shout out to Nick Underhill. Great follow. This is probably going to be the job. The guy who gets this job is going to be the one that takes it over for 2 years-ish, maybe gets into a third. The teams are going to be terrible, and then the guy after him is going to be great. Like, he'll be Matt Patricia. Yeah, the Matt Patricia, and then we'll come on Dan Campbell, right? And look, hey, you're still getting paid. You're still a head coach in the NFL, but it's the facts unless you just really hit gold like a Sean Payton. But unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to be able to have the flexibility to turn over the roster like we did last time.
Well, so I'm looking at the cap situation right now. Sport Track is where I get all my info on cap space, contracts, all that stuff. Right now in 2025, we are still $77 million over the cap. Okay. Jesus. Not a good situation. Go to the following year in 2026, we have $47 million in cap space available. That's not counting who we draft next year. That's not counting anybody we re-sign. And I'm not even looking at who is eligible for a re-sign. 2027, we're 25th in cap space. Then, like, they're going to have some kind of hard uphill battle. They may be Sisyphus rolling that stone up the hill just to have it knocked back down, especially if Mickey Loomis is still in charge as a GM, kicking contracts down the road. Yeah. That's the thing, though, right? Do you keep going down that path of kicking it down the road and just keep on keeping on, or do you take it on the chin? Because once you pull that Band-Aid off, it's not going to be pretty. That's going to be a freaking cesspool, and I get way more graphic, but it's not going to be nice. The good thing is that we traded away Marshawn Lattimore, and it sucks, but we got some draft capital out of it. So, maybe if we would have made a couple more moves, then it would have truly shown, like, okay, we're actually going to start doing something with what we've got.
Yeah, what I saw is, like, they didn't trade Chase Young because if he signs somewhere else, they get a better draft pick from, like, compensatory pick. But our draft cap doesn't, like, really reset till 2028, like the
true numbers.
Yeah, true numbers. So it's like you're going to let the roster age out, but, like, who's going to want to come play here? You have no quarterback. Like, even a team as terrible as the Giants have Neighbors, they have Burns, they have Dexter Lawrence. Like, you can look at the Panthers, and the Panthers have some solid talent. Who's our really great talent on the roster right now?
Unfortunately, you're looking at guys that are aging, or unfortunately is Chris Olave. And he is, we wish him the best going forward, but at time of recording, we don't know if he's going to play again.
He's basically Billy Bob from Varsity Blues right now.
Oh, my.
He's had 3 concussions in 3 games.
Hasn't he had like
Oh man,
5 years?
something like that.
And then
Yeah.
like he had a bad one. He had a bad one at Ohio State. Then he had at least one his first year.
Yeah.
He had one last year and then 2 this year.
He's Billy Bob.
So
speaking of Billy Bob, I want to bring something up that's not Saints related, and I hate to skew. Shane, this is kind of the ADD train that we take in this podcast. Did y'all watch the Monday night game?
Actually,
I watched it until about halftime, and me and I would have jumped on and started playing zombies.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, you played with us last night, Joey.
But did y'all watch? Did y'all watch what? I think is this what you commented on? Where what is Tua doing?
Oh, the tackling. Yeah,
where he went to tackle and he basically got kneed in the back of the head.
Well, did you see he came out and actually said something about it? He was like, "Yeah, I got to be safer. I can't do that." It's instinct at this point, right? Like,
can they make him like force him to wear a Guardian cap everywhere he goes?
No, they can't.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, legally, no, they cannot. They cannot. I mean, they can put in his contract that he can't ride motorcycles or something, but they can't say that. But I do want to circle back to the. But that was a good segue, though. I do like the Varsity Blues reference to concussion. But circling back to the Saints. But Shane, I want to circle back to what you said, something about like the cap. With the cap being so screwed as it is, that's what makes these picks so important. Now, I want to get y'all's opinion. We've talked about it off air, but I want to get it on the record. I think we all agree there's 2 avenues you can go here. You can either take the quarterback and start that clock now and build up the roster around him and get him this year, or you stay with Carr. Oh, I know. And basically you get an offensive lineman, weapons, you start that process this year and start that clock in 2025, 2026. Or 2026, I guess it would be. So get y'all's opinion on that one.
To me, you don't draft a quarterback next year. You rebuild through the line. You got a pretty good defensive tackle in Breesy. You got our offensive line isn't that bad when it's healthy. I think if you can draft Campbell, you draft him and move your boy to the right tackle, or you draft a defensive tackle from Michigan. But you only save $1 million if you cut Carr. So he's $50 million on a cap. If he's here, he's 51 if he's gone. Like, you might as well keep him. Maybe get somebody like Arch Manning if he starts playing better. But
oh my God, could you imagine
know how many tickets would sell if Arch Manning came to the Saints? Like just the people who are like, I've watched him since, John Gilliam ran that first kickoff. Those fans that are with it through thick and thin are going to sit there and go, "Oh my God, we have the grandson of what they would say was the best quarterback at the time for the Saints, or at least the most well-known quarterback at the time."
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm still just trying to picture in my head, like I'm imagining like just the prices of things, like down here for like an Arch Manning. Like, it's too much of a home. Look, I don't want to go down too far down this rabbit hole because we totally can if we want to, but I would love that. He has to play better, of course. And it's a pipe dream, and if it wasn't for his name, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't look that far ahead. But yeah, I agree. I think taking Will Campbell, taking defensive tackle. I mean, hey, best player available at this point, right?
I'll tell you this much, Tyler. If you're looking at a quarterback, according to Pro Football Focus, Jalen Milroe is the #1 quarterback coming out of this draft. Then you have
No. I'm sorry. When was that updated? I feel like Milroe can't be the #1 quarterback.
I don't know, but I'm looking at it now. This is their big board.
So it would be, hear me out and so Cam Ward, Shador, Jalen Milroe. Do they have Aller on there?
This is updated, I'd assume, now because you've got Jalen Milroe, Cam Ward, Shador, Nussmeier, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, Miller Moss, and then Wegman, Aller.
The only one out of those would be either Shador or Cam Ward for me.
I think the only way we get Shador is if we pick up his dad to coach.
Hey, look, we discussed that last time. Lord knows if it would be good. but it would be entertaining.
Shane's got something on that. I can see it. He's like,
well, this is what I tell you. We're not a quarterback away. So that's the problem. It's not like we're a quarterback and a coach away. So the Saints struck gold back in the early 2000s. They drafted Streif, Evans, Stinchcomb, Harper,
06, bud.
Colton. Yeah, they struck gold. So they haven't had a good draft like that. They've hit on certain guys. They haven't hit on certain guys.
17.
A quarterback next year and a coach isn't going to make this team a perennial Super Bowl contender.
I'll tell you what, they have a draft no, I mean, and you got to knock it out knock it out of the park. We're not going to go out and sign a Drew Brees, which not a lot of those going to market anymore. But I just don't see us going out and making a big free agent splash because you can't. Right? So it's got to be through the draft.
We can't afford it.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it's like you said, Tyler.
I'd rather draft a kid from Boise State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Genty. Yeah, he's that dude. Cool. So we can parlay that to fantasy football talk.
But it's
okay.
Last thing on the Saints' future, we just kind of, it's going to be rough for the next couple years. Hopefully they win, at least beat the Falcons, at least beat the Bucs one game out of the two. Should dog walk the Panthers for the next couple years because I don't see them improving at all.
Yeah, we can't.
As long as they take care of those games, I know it's the NFC South hatred in me that's just sitting there saying that. Realistically, that's what I think could happen if the teams kind of go the same way.
Yeah. So just to wrap up the Saints a little bit, and then we can go into our next topic. So they got the Cleveland Browns coming in. Who y'all got? I'm gonna say us. Don't have a lot of confidence in it.
Who's the quarterback?
Well, Derek Carr.
No, for the Browns.
No. Oh, famous Jameis, baby.
Jameis.
It's going to be tight. Dude. He's going to want to come in to win.
Well, I mean, he's got to eat them W's, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
The first four letters of his last name is wins.
That's true. Did y'all, I don't know what podcast it was, but it had somebody that was on the Bucs team when he did that. And they're like, what the F, Jameis? What are you talking about? Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about right now. Oh God, there was another one and I can't remember. But it's a Jameisism and it's hilarious. But moving from one injured New Orleans team to another injured New Orleans team, and we got the Pelicans with shocking news: Zion is out indefinitely with a hamstring injury.
Zion sucks. Zion sucks. Just so everyone knows.
Tell me how you really feel about him, Shane.
It's my fantasy basketball team name. Zion sucks.
It is facts.
We should have traded him. Get rid of him. Keep Ingram. Keep players who get on the court.
See, that's another thing, though, when you talk about that, is it's so hard because we built our team around him, right? We don't have a center because we're we need spacing so he could, slash to the bucket and kick out to somebody. It's well, crap. When he's out.
Here's a shocker. Loomis is involved in the Pelicans as well as the Saints. So.
Color me surprised.
Yeah.
And for those who are wondering, at time of recording, they are 3-8. 3-8 with a bunch of injuries.
That sounds like a familiar record. I'm trying to put my finger on. There's another franchise that is owned by funny enough, Gail Benson. I can't think. It's the Saints. They've won 3 games. They've lost the rest. They play right across the street from each other. They are on the same campus of training facilities. They're two alike at this point. Everyone's injured. They lost. They won 2 to open the season and then lost 7 straight. It's maddening.
Joey, you have to look beyond the results. Okay.
Okay. If I hear the term or the statement, look beyond the results, I'm gonna start using historical stuff. Should Germany look beyond the results of, or should Brazil look beyond the results of the 2? You thought I was going somewhere else. You dirty.
I knew you were going somewhere else with that.
I was trying to go Germany, Brazil, in the World Cup in Brazil when Germany dad-dicked Brazil 7-2 in the semifinal, which never happens.
Don't get the reference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But I got to look beyond the result. I
don't speak freaky deaky Dutch.
Freaky deaky Dutch.
Look, they're breeding just complacent losers on Airline Drive. Okay, they just keep losing, and they're complacent because people keep showing up.
Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean,
is it Willie Green's fault?
I think he's got to get. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shane. You're a guest.
As a Cubs fan, who they finally had a dip in season ticket sales where they finally spent money to go after a team 8 years ago to try to win a World Series because they just would always sell out. We won a Super Bowl, and we've sold out ever since. So we signed up for season tickets 2 years ago and declined them. They've called us every year since because they don't have anyone lining up because no one wants to support the team. No one wants to support the Pelicans because they put a losing product on the field or on the court.
I mean, 100%. The issue is now with like Zion and everything. Well, you have to go full rebuild again on this, but the whole problem is that you'll never get the full what Zion's fully worth. You will always get 70 cents on the dollar, I feel like, of what he could potentially be. And that's,
unless you trade with the Los Angeles Clippers. Trade with the Clippers, and you'll steal. Yeah, or Jono. You'll steal a bunch.
I told you about the trade he sent me, right?
No. So you told me, you didn't tell Shane.
Okay, I gotta look it up because it's
it's a dude. I was telling Shane today.
To be fair to Jono, this was I think the second week that D-Hop was with the Chiefs.
So after the Monday night game, Shane.
Yeah. Okay.
But just while you pull it up, dude, like
I got
this
it when
is
you're
just
ready.
the most fantastic time of year because people are trying to decide whether to sell or buy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of mad at Matt and Jono for that trade. I got really excited for nothing. I mean, it doesn't help anybody.
Well, it's because everybody wants to break news.
Also, Jono picked the wrong. Like Jono got screwed with the wrong year to try to sell. Because if it was like regular keepers, like we had been doing, he would have been able to get first, second, third round picks for stuff. So this year, I don't think people are willing to pay it.
This is a different league than that. All right, you ready?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going through my Jono trades as Joey's doing this because I have like a bunch of.
So he was going to give me Chris Olave, a second round pick in 2027, and a third round pick in 2027 for DeAndre Hopkins, a second round pick in 2025, and a first round pick in 2026.
Okay.
Why are you okay? You're giving me somebody who we don't know is going to be in the league much longer for a player that, granted, could be the same, but at least he's got like an upside. And then taking my first round pick 2 years from now. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm building them bitches.
I'm going to give you. So 28 days ago, he sent me these.
Wait, hold on. It's him right now.
Is it?
He's texting him
right now.
I gave him Roma Dunze for Devontae Wicks, a first and a second. And that was after I turned down. He wanted Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Mark Andrews. And he was going to give me Bucky Irving, Tank Dell, Devontae Wicks, Kincaid, a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a third-round pick, a second-round pick, and a first-round pick.
Jesus
and I just
Christ.
was like, dude. I was like, dude, you just throw a bunch of stuff against me if I'll bite? Or I was like, because I told him, he's like, is there anyone not touchable in your team? Yeah, St. Brown. I'm not trading them. And he immediately sent me a trade for St. Brown with two other players.
He sounds like me when I try to do parlays where I'm just like, I'll do this one and this one and this one and this preset one and this 4-leg one. And it's like a 15-leg parlay.
All right, just a public service announcement. Do not follow what Joey does with that.
You know that so somebody asked me.
Do not follow that.
I had somebody ask me, so how would you describe your betting like habits? I said, have you ever seen the Cam Patterson clip of "I'm not retarded, but I like rocks"? That's my betting style.
Wow.
I have seen it.
But I will say, I had a college basketball parlay last night, and I won. It was a 7-leg parlay.
Joey, this is not your grandstand to talk about your betting wins, sir.
I've calmed down on the stupidity. I won my Pelicans one last night.
Brad from Macinas has the best win of the month.
Oh my God. That is still impressive and bugs the crap out of me.
Is that the one you said he won $12,000?
Yeah.
So Joey, man? So Brad from Macinas, there was 12 NBA games on like a random Tuesday night. He picked the money line for all 12, bet $10, hit $12,000.
Oh my God.
So the question is, though, does he get to keep
and he
that
knows
or
nothing about pro basketball?
I think that's the problem.
What's that?
I think when you get to a certain point, it's you know too much of those points, right? Like, no, I'm saying like, does he get to keep that, or does that go to his old lady?
Oh no, she gets it for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
My winnings went to this monitor.
He's not keeping it.
Joey,
my winnings went to this monitor right here in front of me.
Joey flying in with the using the profit for the show. We appreciate it, Joey. We appreciate the commitment, sir.
Technically, I'm using it for the future computer that I may get or the other laptop I'm going to get. But yes.
So
I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to do that? Okay.
I was gonna do what he did, but the best I can get is a $118 money line. So I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Nah, probably not. So, Joey, what else is going on in the let's talk about LSU, that disappointment of a freaking game. I'm pretty sure Jalen Milroe's still freaking running through our defense as we speak. Dude, I just could not. It's another one. I got it through halftime, and I'm like, I've seen this story before. We're going to get freaking boat raced. We already were.
We shut it off.
Yeah, we literally turned it off. Like, I can't watch it anymore. 49. Come on, man. Come on.
Somehow we're still ranked? Or is that because the next ranking comes out today?
No. They came out. They can't. Well, the true college football.
No, we're still ranked.
Yeah, but
Wow.
We can't make the playoff. We're just going to be ranked.
No, there's
Tulane's
no way.
ranked.
Oh, we're in the 20th.
They're 25.
Yeah, there's no way we made the playoff. No
Good
shot.
for them.
Look,
I think
at the end of the day, Chip Kelly coached at Notre Dame, who's going to get blue collar talent based on the fact that they're Notre Dame, or Brian Kelly, whatever his name is.
Chip Kelly.
he coached at Notre Dame, who's he's gonna get blue collar talent. He's gonna get recruits, and they can win 10 games a year. He comes to the SEC. He's fighting with every great team in the conference, and he doesn't put a winning product on the field. It's not surprising.
So, yeah, I feel like if you're gonna pay him what we're paying him, 10 wins shouldn't be the standard. It should be we're in the playoff, we're competing for championships each and every year. But this is also the same AD now that was at Texas A&M when they backed up the Brinks truck for old Jimbo too. And we all know how that worked out. So maybe these big swings at coaches isn't the way to go.
It's
you
not.
You could take the coach from Southeastern and put him at LSU, and he'd win the same amount of games as Kelly.
Wow.
He's just going to get the talent.
Yeah, it's true.
Just by the
He's not that good of a coach. He's really not that good of a coach.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Brian Kelly, to me, I knew I was going to be disappointed when he did that recruiting video and he was dancing with the recruit, and then his accent changed, and then
Oh my
He's
goodness.
sucked at it's I'm of the people who just want to be, let's cut our losses and just go another direction. I'm hoping that there's some kind of Bobby Petrino-esque scandal just waiting in the wings to pop up out of nowhere to be like, okay, bye, see ya.
Well, okay. I mean, let's not. No, because that's bad light on LSU too.
Joey's hoping for a scandal.
Yeah, Joey wants a 30
Let's
for
make
30.
this fun. Yes, yes. First off, I want to talk about something. Speaking of 30 for 30s.
Oh man.
Okay. How in the hell does anybody? And I'm not okay. Before I say this is going to sound political. It's not political. Who the hell hired the Tiger from Wish.com and put him out there? Why? If it's not Mike the Tiger, it's nobody. Why are we putting a fake tiger out there?
So the governor wants a tiger in Tiger Stadium. LSU's
he could go in Mike's habitat, walk up to him and ask him, "Hey, can you please go in the stadium?" And if he says no and gets mauled, that's his problem.
And LSU's like, no, the last time we stopped doing this because it makes the tiger physically ill. We're not doing this anymore. So they got somebody from Florida, from some exotic performing pets thing, to transport the tiger from there all the way to Tiger Stadium. It doesn't matter.
The person who brought the tiger has a history of tigers escaping from whatever habitat they have.
Well, so are we talking one tiger escaping, or are we talking multiple?
It's a few.
All right, I feel like one.
Think Tiger King, but 7 times worse. That's what I've heard. It's from Florida.
So
I did see.
That's not the most embarrassing thing on LSU.
No. I did see a sign.
That'd be the run defense.
That's that, and the Saints can't stop a tight end.
Okay. Also, there's a part of me, the young college part of me, that still lives inside of me, thought it was absolutely hilarious that they got neck on national television.
That takes nothing for LSU fans to do that.
No, I know. But then there's the adult part of me that's it's not a great look on national television.
So to add to that, I was listening to Door Bumper Clear, which is a NASCAR podcast, and they were talking about how one of the spotters was sitting with the driver that he was spotting for that weekend because the normal spotter was suspended. And they were talking about how the driver goes, "Hey man, did you see College Game Day? How they had that chant at LSU?" And he's like, "No." And he played it for him. And he said, "Oh, we need to figure something out for that." And so he said it on the podcast. And I'm just sitting there driving dude, that's fucking hilarious. It's the reach of this because of Pat McAfee is just so far. And don't be surprised if this gets attention, but
that's insane. I mean, it's Pat McAfee. He's one of the most influential people in the sports world today. Let's call it what it is. And you got the fact that he's the one doing it on national television. Is going to put it out there. And part of me is oh, it's awesome. And another part of me is oh, come on, man. And that was probably the most noteworthy performance from LSU that day. Hey-o.
Yeah, he even said they go, "Hey-o," and just blurt out, "Suck that tiger dick, bitch." The best part is you watch the faces of the people who are not Pat McAfee, and like Kirk Herbstreit asked a question about it, and then Pat McAfee did it, and you just see Kirk Herbstreit back away "Yeah, I did that. That's my bad. My fault."
We're also talking about Pat McAfee as the guy who stopped Reese Davis mid freaking report to be "Oh, that is not what I thought you were gonna say." Shane, you ever heard about that? The Lankin incident
at the Rose Bowl.
At the Rose Bowl.
It doesn't make us look the greatest.
No, it does not.
But let's be real. When you're talking about a stadium that when you're at the 50, you can smell the whiskey. Does that make us any better
Better? No.
or worse?
More entertaining? Yes.
I know one thing. If I was college football or if I was the NCAA, because I'm going to bring out the elephant in the room at that game, how LSU fans were throwing shit on the field. And I blame you, University of Texas, because now college kids think that that's okay. The next team that does it, I'd come out with a statement. The next team's fans that do it, guess what? That's an empty stadium. You are playing with no fans in that stadium.
There's no way they're doing that.
Something has to be done.
No.
Yeah, but you're talking about an extreme of cutting revenue, cutting jobs, cutting too many logistics.
But how much money do they make a game?
A lot.
How much did they fine LSU for throwing shit on the field?
A lot. So, I'm just saying, Joey. Okay, so from that point of view, I'm just throwing it out there. So you would still get the fine, right? Theoretically, in this world, you'd still get the fine and cut off a game where you get no revenue. So you're just basically double fining, and why not just increase the fine?
Well, it would be you'd get, you wouldn't get a fine. You would just get nobody can go to the game, so the school loses out on that money, and that's because they can't. It's I'm trying to think how to put this. You have to punish the fans. You can't punish the school because the students don't matter what happens to the school.
No, and I get where you're coming from on that one.
Vanderbilt rushed the field, stole the uprights. They got fined $100,000. Ole Miss did it. They got fined $250,000. Well, actually, they got two fines: one for entering the field early, and then another one for entering the field the second time.
Hey, they're not used to winning big games. Okay, you got to cut them some slack.
Was it Tennessee stormed the field?
Tennessee stormed the field.
Joe, there's a better chance of allowing parents to beat kids than them having kids not be at a college football game.
There's just something. I just think that something has to be done, and I mean,
there's nothing you can do.
Texas put out text messages saying that they found the kids that did it, and they said, "Yeah, you're not going to any more games this year. Sorry, not sorry. If you have any questions, go to texasathletics.com." But other than that, I'm
gonna tell you what it's gonna be. It's gonna get to the point where they're not gonna let people bring drinks back to the seats. If it gets to that extreme, they'll start just having designated areas for that. That'll be where, because it started. Remember, it used to be the caps. Remember, people used to throw the caps on the field. They're like, oh no, can't have caps anymore. Then it became bottle. That's the progression we're going. That's gonna be the next step.
They do that in England for soccer games. They don't allow you to drink at your seats.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna be. And that's probably the most logical.
But the problem, the fight you're gonna run into is, but it's 110 degrees in the south, and you need to have water.
Blame those a-holes 3 years ago for throwing water bottles.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just preparing you for the fight that's going to happen. Not that you're going to be in it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, yeah. But disappointing. Highly disappointing. I'm done with LSU this year. I'll just throw that out there. I don't care. I'll be
still going to playoff. Damn it.
As two Yankee fans, can I ask y'all a question?
No.
How do you think Steve Bartman feels watching these guys get glorified for interrupting the field, and this dude's been in hiding for 20 years?
That's y'all's fault.
Yeah, that's Chicago fans' fault. Because you don't see us.
We didn't vilify him.
You didn't see us vilifying the guy trying to rip off Mookie Betts' glove.
Hey, at least we waited a few games before we
y'all haven't won
the game. Okay.
What's that?
Y'all hadn't won in 13 years. It was like 100 years for us, okay? It's a little bit of a difference.
Listen, it was 15 years.
Don't add to it.
Right. Dude, that was my freshman year of college. Was the last time we won the World Series.
It was my senior year of high school.
It's 09, right?
Yeah,
09 years ago. 09?
Yeah, the first year we had
15.
Stadium.
15. Joey's right.
This is 2024. 15 years ago was 2009.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Shane, I know it's been a hell of a week, but we did not time travel, okay?
Math ain't mathin'.
All right, man. So let's do.
I look forward to every year that it adds.
It's not going to add next year. I'm saying it now. It's not going to add next year. We're going to re-sign Juan Soto. We're going to, we got Garrett Cole back.
Juan Soto is not signing with the Yankees.
So I'm not even concerned about where he's signing right now. But can we stop getting the reports of being like, this team's in on him. This team's in on him. This team's got him top of their list. It's like, no shit. Every team's going to at least check in and be like, do we have a shot? No? Okay. Like, what the
I just Googled.
He might play for the Mets.
I just Googled Juan Soto. Top stories. Blue Jays could play spoiler in Yankees-Mets Juan Soto sweepstakes. Red Sox reportedly meet with Juan Soto. Mets star Francisco Lindor has been recruiting free agent Juan Soto. There was another team I saw.
The Giants are going after him hard.
I saw the Giants. I saw the Red Sox.
I saw the Dodgers during the World Series.
The Dodgers are going to get that pitcher from Japan.
Well, no duh. They got everybody else from Japan. Might as well add to their collection.
They'll just defer the money. He's going to hire Otani's fucking former interpreter.
He's going to see him walking in the locker room like, what the fuck is he doing here?
It's okay, Shane. They're just going to defer the money to 2036. Okay? That's how baseball is.
Can I ask one more baseball question?
Go right ahead.
Am I afraid?
If you're Pete Rose's family, do you tell the Baseball Hall of Fame to fuck off?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
1,000%. Because you are not – I'm glad you brought this up. Because that is not – you're not honoring him. You're basically just placating the public.
Are they actually going to put him in the Hall of Fame now?
Oh, they want to. Absolutely.
They want
to.
They
were waiting for him to die. Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
I feel like if you're going to do that, you have to tell them, like, look, as long as you're alive, we are not electing you in the Hall of Fame. When you die, we'll give you a shot.
They basically told them that without telling them that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that once legalized sports gambling came into focus or came legal, just lift the ban. The man served what 40-year freaking suspension, like 30-year, whatever you want to call it. He did his time. Okay, let him in.
I think this should ban Otani for a little bit because he was involved in gambling. That motherfucker knew. You can't tell me that dude didn't know.
You got to ban Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and all the guys who are clearly on steroids before you ban Otani for having a bad interpreter, apparently.
So wait, that's a great point, Shane. Hold on one second. So with the guys with steroids, I want to get y'all's opinion on it. Since pretty much all the prominent players were on them, I don't want to say everybody, but there was a vast majority. How do y'all feel about letting those guys in the Hall of Fame?
I don't let them in.
You don't let them in? I mean, look, there's no right or wrong answer here. I just look at it as, go ahead.
You want my honest opinion? Put them in. They save baseball.
There's an argument to be made there. There's an argument to be made that don't let them in because technically they were cheating and giving themselves a leg up advantage and everything. But so more in their recovery and stuff. Look, I feel like the guys that were just doing speed before games had more of an advantage than the guys that were doing steroids. Just in my humble opinion.
So if you're gonna say don't put them in the Hall of Fame, stop celebrating them then. Stop.
I don't ever celebrate them.
Stop. I'm saying Major League Baseball. Like, stop putting the highlight film. Like, oh, look at all these great moments that happen. Stop putting Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa having a moment on the field where they're doing their little handshake thing. Stop having Barry Bonds hitting that home run that beat Hank Aaron's record. Stop showing Roger Clemens throwing a strike in the World Series. Like, stop showing them. If you're going to say they're not eligible for the Hall of Fame, stop celebrating them. Like, completely wipe them from your history, if that's the case. But if you're going to continue to show them in the highlight packages, you're going to continue to talk about them on the field, put them in the damn Hall of Fame. Who gives a shit?
Well, they show Pete Rose when they ever talk about hitting. They show him all the time. They show every highlight. They've never put him in.
Because you know why? Controversy sells. Because just what we're doing right here, discussing it, it's content.
I'm also of the short belief, a small belief, I don't know how big this group is, that Rob Manfred is not doing that great as commissioner.
I mean, it's a give and
I
take.
feel like
with
there.
it.
I feel like there are better ones, or there are worse ones. I'm looking at you, Gary Bettman.
I knew he was going hockey.
But the man is responsible for 4 work stoppages.
Yeah, that's
one
true.
of which
That's true.
canceled an entire season.
But that's very true. But yeah, no, I agree with you all though about circling back to the Hall of Fame. Well, I think they should be let in, considering that most of your stars were juicing at that point in time. But I wouldn't disagree with you if you're like, no, don't let them in. It's one of those things. There's no right answer to it ultimately. There is one thing I'd like to do, since we have Shane here, and we've talked about it earlier. We all like to partake in sports betting, and shout out Pete Rose, RIP. I would want to look at the Week 11 early lines and everything like that, and we'll just go through and pick them. What y'all think
For NFL?
for NFL? Yeah,
Sure.
y'all cool with that?
I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So our Thursday night game, we got the Commanders going to the Eagles, and your point spread is the Eagles minus 3.5. So I'll start this one off, and your over/under is 48.5. That's a big number.
According to,
I'm sorry, I'm looking at. I'm on CBS Sports. I don't know who they got their odds from. Sports Line.
I think they do Caesars.
No, it's Sports Line. Hold on. Let me double check this one.
ESPN Bet has the same thing. Philly minus 3.5. Total over under 48.5.
I'll go to ESPN Bet real quick. Give me 1 second.
I got it right here.
I know. I'm pulling up on my screen real quick. So 3.5. I do like that, honestly. I do think that actually Philly covers this one. I don't know about y'all.
Washington hasn't looked good lately. I mean, I love Daniels, but they haven't looked sharp. I mean, they
find ways to win,
yeah.
But right, that's where I'm kind of at. Joey, what you thinking? 3.5, too much, too many, or just right?
I would probably take Philly. No, I would take Washington
To cover outright.
To cover.
Okay.
Because
I don't
yes,
hate
they
that,
didn't. Yes, they didn't look good against the Giants, but they lost by 1 to the Steelers. It's their last 3 games have been all by less than a field goal. So
yeah. Big key injuries on that one. Devonta Smith has been questionable for this game, and Brian Robinson, who's missed the last 2 games at running back for the Commanders. So that's something to watch going into that game on Thursday.
I need him to play. I have him on fantasy. It's killing me.
I have both of them. So I'm right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. But Jalen Hurts been playing out of his mind. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with Shane. I do like Philly 3.5 here. Take that. Yep. So moving to the Saints, the game we were just talking about earlier.
Ugh.
1. Not 1.5. 1. They're giving the Saints right now.
I have ESPN Bet has New Orleans minus 1.5, over under 43.5. I would take take the over.
It's essentially a push 'em. A pick 'em. And
I just take the over if I'm betting that game.
See, to me, go ahead, Shane.
I take the Saints to piss me off and win another game to move themselves down in the draft order. So I take the Saints.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is going to be a slugfest, Joey. I do not see a lot of points in this one. I can honestly say. Because if you look at aside from MBS, when did we move the ball? Really move the ball. And the Taysom play. Those 3 big explosive plays.
I mean, I didn't say that both teams were going to get over.
No, I'm just saying, just perspective. Like, we did not have a good day moving the ball, especially in the second half. So I don't know if we can sustain it, but I'm actually gonna go Cleveland here. I think Cleveland takes it outright, and I'm gonna go under on the points for that one. So let me keep track of this real quick.
I was gonna say, write this down so put that on my sheet.
Joey, Cleveland. No.
I'll get the next game going. Packers Bears NFC North matchup. Green Bay minus 6.5. Over under 40.5. I mean, as bad as the Bears are, they just made a change at offensive coordinator.
which
was just needed, but I think they need
very much needed.
They need to go to the next step to get improvement. I would take the Packers minus 6.5.
Ooh, that's a big number, though.
And I would take the under.
Ooh, Shane, I'm gonna let you go first, big dog.
I'm taking Bears 6.5 in the over.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know about the over under, but I definitely like the Bears at 6.5 to try to cover that. That's six a big number, dude.
This game is at Soldier Field, and according to AccuWeather, it's gonna be 56 degrees and partly cloudy. So it's probably gonna be windy.
Sounds like wonderful weather to hit the over.
Life's too short to bet the under. That's the life.
True.
That's the life Shane has.
Well, that's the life our friend Corey has.
Yeah, I can't believe he was so close.
All right, so I'm going to come back and rewatch the tape before I try to write this down because this is taking me way too much time. Let's move on to our next game, Joey. What you got? I don't want to get out of your rhythm.
I'm gonna not do the Jags and Lions because I feel like we all think the Jags are gonna win.
Wait.
I mean,
Jags are gonna lose. Jags are gonna lose. Jags are gonna lose.
No, but that's the point of this, Joey. Let's look at this point spread here.
So
13 is a huge number.
Detroit minus 13, 47.5 over under. I'm taking St. Brown anytime touchdown scorer in that game. And I'm taking.
We're throwing props out there now.
Yeah, because why the fuck not?
This is not my notes.
Jesus,
you can still put it on the sheet.
It's all good. But no, that's
St. Brown
question,
anytime.
though.
Do I think they're going to cover 13 and
13 and
yes.
a half?
No, minus 13. Yes.
What?
I have 13.
Same thing, but okay.
But yes, they're going to cover that. It's the Jags, 2-8 on the season, 0-5 away.
If Mac Jones plays, I take minus 13 and a half. If Trevor Lawrence plays, I'll take the points.
And look, I'm not so much worried about a like them keeping it close kind of game. I'm more worried about the fact that they'll just have a backdoor cover somehow. Like they'll kick some meaningless field goal to make it an 11-point game instead of a 14-point.
It's not going to be that close.
Golf threw 5 interceptions, and the defense shut down the team in the second half to win that game. They didn't run
screw it
in the second half.
Screw it. I'll take the 13 on that one.
To flip you on that, I saw a stat. It was like Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns and lost a game.
That is very true.
But we're talking about the spread. I don't really care about that. That's like
it's gonna be a blowout. It's in Ford Field. The Jags are 0-5 away. It's just gonna be. They're gonna boat race them.
We're not talking money line though. We're not talking money line. I'm saying.
I'm talking spread. It's going to be by 21 points. They're going to win this game.
Write that down. If Trevor Lawrence.
Wait, what was it? Wait, what was it? I missed it. I'm sorry, guys.
Put me an alternate spread.
He said alternate spread.
Put me at an alternate spread. Lions minus 21.
I want
and a half.
I will take that bet. What do you want to bet?
Wait. 21 or 21 and a half?
21 and a half.
I'll take that bet. What do you want to bet?
You want to do a gentleman's bet?
Oh, $1?
Yeah.
Oh, but you have to sign it.
That's fine.
With whatever the other person wants on it.
That's fine.
Okay. Oh my God.
Gentleman's bet. I got
21 and a half.
I hope Trevor Lawrence plays.
Dude. I don't know if I'd take that even if he wasn't playing.
I love it. I can't wait. Look, I got a spot over here underneath my Wrigley Field World Series, and my Louisville Slugger bat is to the right. Y'all can't see. I'm going to put Joey's fucking dollar right here.
All right, Joey.
He is questionable right now to return, by the way.
You start up the next time. I want to just look to see when the last time a team actually was 20. Like,
please do.
Oh, why is my mouse not working?
Oh, I got Vikings, Titans, Minnesota -6. And I got the total of 39.5.
I'm sorry,
Titans
one second.
Home.
Vikings.
Okay. I'm right there.
I'll take the Vikings.
I just think you know what? Give me the Titans 6.5. plus 6.5.
Wow.
I'm going Minnesota.
It's like I said, we're talking point spread. Minnesota.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Minnesota also did just only beat the Jags by 5. Right?
Was
it 12-7?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to Joey.
I'm just saying. So, man, nobody's all right, we'll have to look that up later, but jeez, I'm dude, 21.5. Anyway, what's the next one, gentlemen?
Jesus.
Raiders, Dolphins, Miami -7.5 at home, 44.5 total.
I'll take Miami to cover that. I think they'll eventually get this offense rolling. That was a good win by them on Monday with a really good Los Angeles team that's been kind of streaking lately. So, give me Miami on that one. Joey?
I'll take. For some reason, I'm saying Raiders are going to cover, but not by much. Not by much.
I'm going to go
21.5.
Miami, but in true Joey fashion, Brock Bowers 7 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
Woo! Hey, I hope so. Buddy. I really do.
If you're looking for your against the spread record, because I just pulled that up.
Oh yeah, Joey the Greek.
Dolphins. The Dolphins are 3-6 against the spread, and the Raiders are 4-5 against the spread.
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
And they're playing in 80-degree weather for anyone that cares.
AccuWeather. I will say
the weather's important, okay? Weather's important.
Look, I will say that 7.5 really doesn't make me feel all warm and tingly inside. But I think it's a 10-point game, all in all. I think that's how we end it. But that's just me. But Shane, you said you got Miami. Joe, you said you're taking the Raiders, right?
Yeah, I'll take Miami.
And you got Brock Bowers special.
Brock Bowers special for Joey.
All right, so the next one that I see on my list is going to be the Indianapolis Colts going against the New York Jets. That's played on Sunday at 12 o'clock, and I got the Jets at 3.5, which is an over-under at 44.5. Man, I don't know. It's two teams that are struggling.
I don't want to touch this game with a 10-foot pole.
No, I would. I would recommend not betting this game. But look, if we're gonna do a special here, I say over 100 yards for Jonathan Taylor in this game. Though that would be my
in the
my
first
special.
half.
Look, hey, I wouldn't be mad at either, but I'm gonna keep it conservative. I'm not gonna go full 21.5 and keep it somewhat guarded. Okay, but that's my guess. I know we don't want to touch it, but if you had to, who you taking and why? Anybody? Multiple choice. Or are we just not touching it at all?
I don't want to touch it.
I'm going to just take the Jets at home.
Jets at home. I feel like that's
-4. Colts look bad this weekend.
Very bad. Very, very bad. I didn't pick the game, did I? No, I just picked the special.
No, yeah, you did the special. I'll say Joe Flacco throws a passing touchdown.
I can see that.
I know that's one of the. Will he throw a passing touchdown?
I'll say the sun comes up tomorrow.
That's very true.
But you've seen that touchdown specials where it's will they throw a touchdown in the first half? I say Joe Flacco will throw a touchdown in the first half.
To which team now?
I still say I think the Jets might win the game.
I think Jets outright. Something just seems off in Indy. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it just doesn't feel as much flow as it was last year. Like when Gardner Minshew got in there, they were humming, baby. But this year, not so much. I don't know what's going on over there. Next game, we talked about the Lions. We talked about the Packers and the Bears. Next one I got is the Rams going to New England for an early kickoff game. Vegas is giving them 5 at the moment is what I'm reading. And 43.5 is the over-under. What you got?
I take the Rams.
I don't take them with a lot of confidence, though.
I take the Rams.
I'm gonna say the Rams. Oh wait, are they staying? You think they're staying on the East Coast?
Where did they play last week?
They played in Miami. Oh no. Wait.
Yeah, last night they played Miami.
They played Miami. Was that in Miami or was that? Let's see.
Was that in Miami? No, it was in SoFi.
No, that was at home. Ooh,
So
anytime
they're
you
traveling.
they're traveling an early game. Just don't think New England's that good. Yeah, give me the Rams on that one. I think by at least a touchdown.
I think they'll come out slow, and then something will happen right at the end of the first half that'll carry them to that win.
Shane, where you said Rams. I think we're all agreeing Rams 5.5. I think 5 is what I got. Here's one of my personal favorites of the week, and if it wasn't on at the same time as the Saints game, I'd definitely be tuning in. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're giving the Ravens 3.5 right now, over under 48.5. Should be a lot of scoring.
I'll go over on that.
I'm not going to touch the over under because these games are either slugfests or they can go either way. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, but I am going to give you a special here. I'm saying George Pickens anytime touchdown is you can lock it in. But if you're feeling really juicy, you go Mike Williams touchdown. I know he scored last week, but the pass defense for the Ravens has been shredded this year. So I would feel very confident when either one of those wide receivers scoring a touchdown.
Shane?
I'm going to go Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens defense touchdown.
Interesting. I'm going to go Steelers at the plus 3.5. I'm going there. I think the defense keeps it close enough. These games are always gritty. And, I thought he was washed. I put him in the washer, in the dryer, took him out, folded him out, put him in the dresser. Russell Wilson has proved me wrong and is playing actually competent football this year.
He still sucks.
Well,
Tyler, I will say, because you have YouTube TV, New Orleans is getting Pittsburgh and Cleveland, so you will not be able to see the Baltimore game.
Yeah, I figured. They're on the same time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All good. We're just going to move right along here. We're going to start.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
What? Pittsburgh. We have Pittsburgh.
Why does it tell me Pittsburgh and Cleveland? This is a wrong map.
Okay. Anyway.
Is Joey having a stroke?
Joe,
no, for some reason it showed me 2020. Okay. You can look up what games you're going to get on coverage maps. I've been looking them up because my sister lives in Arkansas. She wants to be able to watch the Saints games. So I've been sending her the picture of the map. Well, for some reason, when I look up week 11 this year, it pulls up last year. So I am confused. Maybe they haven't put that out yet. Who knows?
Did Tyler
Did we just lose Tyler?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, there he is.
I am good, guys.
He hit a button.
Yeah, I hit a button. Look, I'm here. The show can go.
You do have the possibility of multi-view on YouTube TV if
we may do it. We may absolutely do it. So
I just watch Red Zone. I just catch it all.
We don't have Red Zone, sir.
No, I just got to resign mine.
On YouTube TV, you do.
You have to have the NFL package. You have to have the sports package.
Oh.
Anyway, one of life's great mysteries there, guys.
We don't have that yet.
Let's move to the afternoon games. The first one is going to be the Seattle Seahawks going to play against the San Francisco 49ers, and they're giving the Niners 6.5. The over-under right now is 51.5. It has already moved up 2 points since the line has come out.
Jesus.
That is a big move, like a big move. So Vegas is expecting a lot of points.
I'm going to go with my quarterback, my backup quarterback, or my starting quarterback in fantasy, Brock Purdy.
6.5?
I'll go San Francisco to take the 6.5.
Okay. All right, Shane.
I lied. I'm taking a money line. I'm taking a money line.
Yeah, I think the play here is Seahawks, or either Seahawks 6.5 or the Niners money line.
I'll take Niners money line. I don't want the 6.5.
I like the Niners money line. When they say it's going to be this high scoring, I think it's close in the divisional game, and you go with the points for the away team.
It's very hard to win a division game by that much, right? It doesn't happen very often unless the team's on fire like the Saints were against the Bucks. most of those, I feel like a lot of divisional games are always going to end kind of by like 3-point, 2-point kind of range.
Yeah.
So I think we're all kind of in agreement there. Joey's not as confident as we are.
It's going to be a field goal. It's going to be a field goal.
Well, then take 6.5.
Yeah, that goes against what you just bet.
The 49ers, no. The 49ers are going to win by a field goal.
Yeah, but then
that goes against what you just bet.
Yeah, that means
if I'm taking San Francisco minus 6.5, that means I think they're going to win by more than 6.5.
No, I thought you were taking the money line because you didn't think.
I'm taking the money line now. I originally said San Francisco minus 6.5. I took that back. I said I want Frisco money line.
Oh.
Yeah.
So either way, you could take the 6.5 from the Seahawks and still make more money.
Yes.
Is what we're saying. Got it. Okay. I think we're all on the same page here.
But
we learned together. Anyway, next game.
Betting's easier for me when I don't have to explain shit.
Exactly.
I just read it to myself and I go, okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. Boom.
This works, and this works.
It's
all right.
Nothing that.
Move right along to the next game is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Denver Broncos. They're giving the Broncos -2 at home, and they got 44.5 points over under. Who you got and why?
Shane.
Can the stadium blow up?
I mean, it can, but that would be a national emergency. So we're trying to avoid that.
God, I'm going to take the Falcons. That just feels dirty saying it.
You could just take the over or under.
No, I'm going to take the Falcons bouncing back in a big way. But I think I think Drake London gets shut down because Surtain's done that all year versus anyone he's played. So it's a Mooney, Pitts, Bijan, Algier game.
I like that. I feel like this is the game. This is the one game where I am going to take the underdog outright in the money line. I just feel like I don't really like. Look, I understand Atlanta didn't look that great, and we did beat them and stuff, but Denver, I don't think has the firepower to keep up. I know that defense is great, but I feel like it's going to be too much Bijan, like you said. Give me the Falcons outright. Joey?
I'm going to take the over. I'm not going to pick a team.
All right. There we go. And next, probably the game of the week, in my opinion, right? You got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Buffalo, New York, and they're giving the Buffalo Bills 2.5 on the at home. The over-under is 45.5.
Do we want to do the thing that they do every year for the last 4 years where we call it the preview of the AFC Championship game?
I mean, honestly, you're not far off. It's a possible preview. You got them. Okay, let's take a break from this. Who would you take? You got the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. Who else realistically in the AFC would you consider a true contender? The Steelers, I just don't. When push comes to shove, unless they can muddy the game up, I don't know if they have the firepower to keep up with these teams. That's just my concern.
I'll say this: the Steelers could be a win away from the AFC Championship game. They can't be a team that's a win away from the Super Bowl. Does that make sense?
Look, no. I get what you're saying. I just feel like you could definitely put the Steelers up there because they always find a way to win. I just think they're still a little bit below the upper echelon, if that makes sense. The upper echelon.
I mean, I always follow Big Cat's power rankings when it comes to trying to figure teams out.
Okay. I mean, look, that's just my opinion. Those would be my three. It's just the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. The Ravens are hard because
I agree with those three because the Go ahead.
Oh no! You were talking the whole time.
No, sorry. No, so I agree with you, Tyler. Those three guys clearly are better. Like Chargers don't look good on paper. Steelers don't look good on paper. The Texans have looked rough the last couple weeks. Man. You would think they'd be in there. So
something's broken in Houston right now.
I think the steam came out of the turnaround. They were riding the high. And the steam. I mean, they've lost their top two receivers for one.
What's the thing? Like, I feel like once Nico comes back, you get a little more rhythm to that offense. But Yeah, they're definitely one that fell off. And the team that I really had higher hopes for this year, and look, they still can go on a run, is the Bengals. Man.
I feel like that's everybody's letdown of the year.
Well, it's just hard because you look on paper and you're like, you got a top 5 quarterback in Joe Burrow, and you got a top 3 wide receiver in Jamar Chase. You got Trey Hendrickson, and I can keep going on and on and on down the list. Just,
and it doesn't help. It doesn't help that your division is basically the lighthouse of the blind, and then like 2 juggernauts.
So yeah, right. I mean, Cleveland. Oh Jesus, Cleveland. We can spend a whole episode talking about that train wreck. But yeah, I mean that's just my opinion for the AFC on that one. What about the NFC? I mean, I'm Lions all the way.
Detroit.
Yeah, it's hard to argue Detroit. It's like Detroit, and then everybody else falls in line behind them.
Detroit has looked, other than the Chiefs, like I think the Chiefs are just destined to go back to the Super Bowl. They're just in that mentality now. And I heard some, and I forgot where I heard it from, but they're like, look, defensive players like that are starters that play meaningful minutes are now trying to look at things. They're like, oh, I saw this on the last kick attempt. That guy's light on his toes from film study. So that's why they're like, that's why they bull rush that side. So when you have defensive starters looking at that, and I'm talking about the Leo Chenal, and not overlooking special teams, and they're looking at every facet to win, to me, that's a team built on success. And I know I got a little long-winded there, but I eventually got there.
I think it's gonna be Detroit. I mean,
yeah.
I would love to see Detroit Buffalo. Just to
dude,
yes.
Fan bases.
Yes.
Those
fans would travel.
It was kind of like it's kind of like when the Cubs and Indians, or Guardians, I should say now, made the World Series. You're like, all right, somebody's getting off the schneid.
Yeah.
It's finally happening. Oh man. So all right, let's get back to it. Let's get to the picks. 2.5 Bills. That's what Vegas is giving. Over under is 4.5. Look, you're gonna give me plus money on the Chiefs. I'll take it all day. I'm going Chiefs money line.
Yeah, I'm the same. Chiefs money line.
Let's go Taylor Swift.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it's a clean sweep. Just because we did that now, they're going to lose by 10. But you can't doubt them, right? Like, for all intents and purposes, they should have lost that game to the Broncos.
They're 9-0 and haven't played their best football yet.
And that is scary.
They're 9-0. They're 4-4-1 against the spread. And Buffalo is 8-2 and 6-4 against the spread.
That's the thing. This is nothing against Buffalo.
And like, Kansas is on a 3-week skid against the spread.
Never tell me the odds, Joey.
That's why I'm not picking the spread. I'm just picking them outright. What was another thing? I will say I don't think he gets enough credit for it right now because Lamar has been playing absolutely fantastic. Josh Allen needs to be put in conversation for MVP, in my opinion. Like, for the lack of weapons and what he's doing to keep carrying his team to victories, it just needs to be noticed. Is all I'm saying.
He's the leading passer of the game going into this game.
Yeah. Which, have y'all seen those memes where it's like, now I know the stats don't match up now, but it was like a few weeks ago they had they were comparing like Patrick Mahomes to Daniel Jones stats, and they were like exactly the same. And it was just like, if it was Patrick Mahomes, they're like, "Oh, good job, here's a promotion." And the other one's like, "Oh, we're gonna need to see you in the HR office, please." And it's just like, that's so true when you think about it. That Patrick Mahomes' name has really given him a lot of leeway when it comes to his stats this year because he hasn't been top tier.
Yeah, as someone who hasn't been in dynasty football, he's not been top tier.
Look, I want to acknowledge Jalen Hurts' tear that he's been on lately. I've really appreciated that in dynasty. In fantasy football. So shout out Jalen Hurts. Let's move on to Sunday Night Football. We got 2 more games, gentlemen, before we wrap up this awesome podcast. Our Sunday night game that's going to be on the Peacock is Cincinnati Bengals going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers, who are a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Who you got and why, gentlemen?
I'm never betting against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I'm going Bengals.
Yeah, give me plus money on that one. Take it all day. I may even parlay the Chiefs and the Bengals, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna say shit. I'm gonna bet the under on that one.
Now, I will say, I can definitely see the under hitting, and shout out to the Chargers. This turnaround's been impressive. Same thing with like the defense with younger guys that are in the secondary, especially. You know, it's been impressive. And then probably the best name in sports. I mean, not the best name in sports, but one of the better names in the NFL is Lad McConkey. Come on now. That's the most Irish name you can get out of here.
It's my boy. My boy.
Oh, man. So, Joe, you're just going to go under here? We're not going to get a game pick?
I just have that feeling with the Bengals that it's like they're going to light it up, but then for some reason it's just going to – the wheels are going to fall off at the end of the game and they're going to lose. But I don't want to bet that. I don't want to put that out there officially. So like, let me just go bet the under.
There you go. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. We got our Monday night football game. It's a battle of Texas. We got the Houston Texans going to Dallas to play the Cowgirls, and the Texans are a 7.5-point favorite on the road. The over-under is 42.5. Who you got and why?
Houston minus 7.5.
I would take Houston minus 13.5.
All right, you know what, Shane? Can you stop taking my move? I was literally about to be like, I'm going to pull a Joey. But yeah, no, 7.5 easy. I will tell you, for this one, the over-under would probably be the tricky one for me. I'd probably have to say because you just don't know, right? Like, I could totally see this being a 28-point difference and them hitting the under, or I could see it being the other way and them hitting the over because they get defensive touchdowns or cheap touchdowns at the end. So that would be the one that would trip me up a little bit, but definitely Texans 7.5 easy. If you want to tease it up, this is a spot you tease it up to like 9.5.
Yeah, for sure.
But is there any other thing in the world of sports that we'd like to cover today, gentlemen?
So remember we talked about how Michael Jordan's suing NASCAR?
Yes.
Okay, so they have an update. They were not granted the injunction to be able to race next season as a chartered member. So that's a bad thing for them because now they will not make as much money. They could lose $4 million per car without a charter.
Good
so,
Lord.
And they were planning on having a third car next season. So $12 million in the hole to start the year is not great.
That's not what you want to do, right?
No, and the current deal expires January 1st. So the good thing for them is the judge is expediting discovery and is going to go through this process quickly so that they can figure it out before then. Excuse me. So we shall see.
We'll have more updates as this goes along. But yeah, that's pretty much wrap it up.
And basically, while I'm thinking about it, the basic reason why they're suing is mainly because in the agreement that they had the team sign, NASCAR put language in it to basically tell the teams that they cannot sue NASCAR for being a monopoly. So they're trying to be like, but no, you are a monopoly because we can't go anywhere else to race these cars. You own the tracks. You tell us where the suppliers are. So
create a monopoly by getting people to sign documents to say that they can't sue for being a monopoly. Got it. Okay. Yes. I mean, it's a bold move. It is a very bold move, but you got to respect the hustle, right?
Is Frankie Muniz racing in NASCAR now?
Yes. He earned a full-time ride in the Craftsman Truck Series next season.
Life is unfair.
Knock him in the middle, baby. All right.
Yeah. I mean, look, anytime you can end an episode or kind of start going that way with a Frankie Muniz reference, it's a good day. It is a good day.
Right?
It's what I bring to the podcast, really.
It is. That is. Let us know what y'all thinking in the comments, whether you want this lovely man to keep joining us. But we had a good time with it, Shane. What's your thoughts about the first time on the podcast?
Good time. Good conversation. I love it.
You just
you
gotta
go,
get you a
man.
microphone.
Yo,
That way you
It's
don't
that
feel
mic-
left out.
it's that mic envy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get that
All
for
right.
next time for sure.
Sounds good, gentlemen. Well, look, that's going to wrap up episode 18 of the Noble City Sort of Sports Talk. Stay classy, and we'll see you next time. Peace.